Hi, and welcome to this mat Pilates flow. My name is Heather, and I'm super grateful that you're here to flow with me today. All you'll need for this 20-minute flow is mat or floor space. And when you're ready, come to the ground either seated crisscross or Z shape. Z shape could be back leg is bent, foot flexed, front knee is bent, and then foot is pressed against thigh. Back hip, you'll sink into the ground, right? Your hip will want to pop because it's fairly hip opening, but try to sink that back hip down. Good. Big inhale. Activate that Pilates breathing. Lungs fill up. And then exhale, compress all the air out. Pull up transverse abdominis. If you want more information on breathing, check out my Pilates breathing video. That will be super helpful. Good. And then we'll begin. We'll take arm closest to front leg, place it on the ground, and then we'll take opposite arm from front leg and we'll reach it up first. So I really want you to think ground through the hip, reach through the arm, and then we'll think big inhale. We're reaching up first and then over. So really grounding through that hip. Arm on the ground, we want shoulder nice and relaxed away from the ear. Elbows tracking up towards the ceiling. So think about not letting the elbow pull in, but rather pulling it back. Good, and then see if you can get a little bit more of a C curve, a little bit more flexion through the oblique. Good, and then we'll come out of that stretch, and then we'll rotate towards that front leg. So a little spinal rotation. Same thing, we want that back hip planted into the ground. Inhale to grow longer through the spine. Exhale to twist, rotate a little bit deeper. Good, and then we'll unrotate either from crisscross position or switch out your Z-shaped legs. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So again, opposite arm from front leg will reach up first, ground through the back hip, and then go ahead and find your C curve, relaxing shoulders away from ear, arm on the ground, elbow can be bent, finding that C shape. Good, trying to find lots of flexion through the oblique, lots of length through the opposite side. Good, and then we'll come out of that stretch and then rotate in towards that front knee. Good, big inhale here, grow longer through the spine, pull the head back. It's really important not to let our head jet forward, but rather to think about using those back of the neck muscles. Good, and then unrotate. Perfect. So we just got a little movement in our spine to warm up. Since we don't have a lot of time, let's get to it. Roll yourself into a little ball. So I like to pull my shins in close. You could either hold on to opposite shin or interlace your fingers. I want to think nice flat back, sit up nice and straight. And then I'm going to round through the spine as I roll back. Good. This is called rolling like a ball. So I'm rounding as I roll back, flattening my back as I come up. I'll add in a little balance component. So every time I come up, I want to think about maybe just letting the toes kickstand, or maybe I really balance on the sit bones with flat back and I let the toes hover, right? So I roll back, round spine, flat back as soon as I come up. That means I really have to pull my belly in, balancing. If I want to add more to my balance every time I come up, either kickstanding the toes or letting toes hover, I can send one leg straight. I can grab around my thigh or my calf, pull it back in, and roll. Good, make sure your breathing is there. If you're doing one leg at a time, make sure you're alternating legs in between rolls. Or you could even level it up, nice flat back. Take both legs out to the side, right? Get a nice little stretch, your big V, pull the belly in. Good, roll back. We'll do this a few more times, so you pick the option that works best for you. Maybe you just stay in a ball. Maybe you add the one leg. Maybe you add both legs. Maybe you add a little straddle. Good, and then we'll go ahead and begin by coming down to the ground. So go ahead and lower yourself down, either holding onto the backs of the hamstrings or pressing onto the ground. Lower all the way down. So you'll notice my back is nice and flat. I'm pulling my belly in and my feet are planted on the ground. I'm going to start by extending my right leg up towards the ceiling. I'll point my toe, I'll flex my foot. I'll point my toe, I'll flex my foot. Every time I flex my foot, I really want to spread those toes apart. Every time I point, I really want to accentuate the arch space. Every time I flex, I'm also getting a nice little calf stretch. Good, and then I'll start rolling my ankle in one direction. Might hear some cracks and pops, and then the other direction. Good, keeping my pelvis nice level and my tailbone anchored into the ground, I'll start circling my right leg. Left leg can be bent or it can straighten. And these are small, tiny little dinner plate circles. So I'm not moving a lot. I don't want my hips to move a lot, it's just my leg. And then I'll reverse the direction of that circle. Perfect. Knee bent, placed back down on the ground. Left leg extends up towards the ceiling. Point and flex. Point and flex. Opposite leg can stay bent or straight. Spreading toes apart. Getting that calf stretch, pointing, accentuating the arch space. Good. Moving on to rolling the ankle. Starting in one direction. Good. And then rotating in the opposite direction. Preparing for my leg circles. I'll start rotating my straight leg, trying to keep that leg as straight as possible. Straight, but my knee is not locked out. There's a softness in the knee, a little bend if my hamstrings are particularly tight. And then I'm rocking in the opposite direction. Beautiful. Perfect. Let's take both legs straight. Point, flex both toes. We'll move a little bit faster, really pulling that belly in. Good. Rolling the ankles, getting both directions. And this time we'll do a circle, but this time I really want to anchor through my abs and tailbone. And then I could hold on to the sides of my mat if I wanted to, or just have my hands pressing onto the ground. And then I take my legs in little circles. So I'm going to meet at the bottom. Legs are at a 45, really using those abs. And I'm going to circle up to the top. Notice my pelvis is not shifting from left to right or forward back. It's staying nice and steady. I'm moving my legs using my abs. Inhaling to come up, exhaling to go down. Continuing that breath cycle. Good. One last circle. Perfect. Then I'll bend my knees, set my feet on the ground. Leg pull. I'm coming into my leg pull exercise. Right leg is going to rest straight down on the ground. Left leg is going to reach up towards the ceiling. I'm going to hold on to the back of my hamstring or the back of my calf. Good. And then I'm going to switch legs, right? So I could do this lying on the ground. I'm going to pull my leg in twice. Inhale, inhale, and then exhale to switch sides. Right? Or I can add a little bit more challenge coming into my chest lift. Inhale, inhale, exhale to switch. Leg pull. Really want to be super mindful that my shoulder blades are lifting high, but there's no pressure in the neck. I'm using my upper abs. We're here for 4, 3, 2, last one. That was our leg pull exercise. Pull the knees into the chest. Good. And then we'll go ahead, tee out the arms. Windshield wipe the knees side to side. Just releasing that low back. Perfect. Then we'll go ahead and roll on to our side for our side lying leg series. I could be lying down with my bicep as a pillow for my ear, or I could prop up on my side. I do want my shoulders to stay stacked. I do want my shoulder in line with my elbow. And if I'm lying on the ground, I want a little mouse house in between the side of my body and the ground. So that way my abs, my obliques stay super active. I'm going to stay propped up for this one, but you choose the option that works best for you. We'll start with both knees bent at a 45-degree angle. So you'll notice my hips are stacked and my knees are coming forward at an angle. I'm going to connect my heels, keep my heels connected at all times. And moving into my clamshell, I'm going to start with an inhale. As I exhale, I'm using my mental resistance, pulling my knees apart, and then slowly letting that knee come down, clamshell. I could reach my arm up towards the ceiling for a little balance, challenge, or I could bend my elbow, have my hand on my hip. I don't want to be rocking forward or back. I want my pelvis to stay nice and steady. So if I feel like I'm rocking back, I just won't lift my knee as high, right? I don't want to rotate open. That's too far. And if I need a little help with support, I'll press my top arm down into the ground. If this is not challenging enough, I could put a band if you have a band at home, or I could elevate my ankles a little bit, keep the ankles elevated, keep the heels connected. Really use that mental resistance to close the leg, inner, outer thighs. Good. Go ahead and straighten both legs. And then we'll move into our straight leg sweeps. So I might bring my legs a little bit forward, so I'm almost in a banana shape, but my hips, shoulders still stack. And then I'll lift my top leg so that it's hip width distance. I'm sweeping forward. I'm flexing my foot to come back. Pointing to go forward, flexing to go back. And I'm going to find a range of motion in my leg where, again, my hips stay steady. So I don't want to take my leg back so far that I fall back. I want to keep those hips nice and steady. I want to keep that top leg lifted so that it's not banging into my bottom leg. Good. Done in 3, 2, and 1. Good. I'll pull my leg back. I'm going to find little circles, point my toe. Couple circles in one direction, couple circles in the opposite direction. Perfect. Then I'm going into my lateral leg lifts. This is as low as my top leg is going to go. I'm going to think leg straight up, leg straight down. If I wanted a little bit more in my inner thigh, I could rotate my knee, my toe up as I come up, rotate the foot to parallel as I come down. Good. Rotate to come up, parallel to come down, or I can just focus on lifting that leg just a little bit. Good. We're here for 3, 2, last one. Perfect. Come all the way down. Make a fist, bang out that booty. We are done with that side, and we'll move on to our belly. We'll switch to the other side in just a second. Don't worry. All right. So we'll start on our belly. We want to come into our baby cobra. So I'm laying flat on the ground. I want to keep my neck super straight. Palms are right in line with my shoulder. And then I'll think I'm going to press through my fingertips, lift my head, neck, chest just a little bit, and then slowly let that head come down. I like to pretend there's an ice cube underneath my belly so that my abs are super engaged. I don't dump into my low back. Inhale to come down. Exhale to lift, rise. Maybe if you're feeling really good with this, you can keep the hip bones grounded, the abs engaged. Maybe you lift a little bit higher into your full swan, right? So I'm either going to stay in baby swan or my full swan. Good. Shoulders are actively pulling down and away. Great. Last exercise, last movement. Good. Come all the way down. Perfect. Then go ahead and stack the palms. Elbows go out to the side. We'll lift our head and hands at the same time. So imagine that you're gluing your forehead to your palms. Feet are grounded. Big inhale. Exhale, lift. And then lower. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Next time you lift, stay lifted. We'll rotate. Right elbow down towards the ground. You're peeking through the left. Come back through center. Lower everything down. Big inhale. Exhale, engage the glutes, engage the belly. Lift. Same thing on the other side. Elbow on the left side points down. We peek through the right. Come back through center, lower everything down. Perfect. All right. We hit one side. Now we want to hit the other. So I'll come on to my side I didn't do last time. For me, I'm lying down on my left side. Again, cradling the head with the bicep or propped up on the elbow. Hip stack, shoulder stack. We want to start in that clam position. And then when you're ready, choose feet elevated, choose the band, or just simply keep the heels connected. We want to open up that top leg, keeping the knee bent, keeping the heel connected. Good. Adding in that mental resistance. Belly pulling in. Inhale to come down, exhale to open, or whatever breath cadence makes the most sense to you. This is our clamshell, really good for inner outer thighs. A lot of runners will have inner knee pain, so this is super helpful in strengthening those muscles around the knee, so that way you don't get that pain. Good, and then go ahead and relax. Clam is done. We're moving on to our circles. Straighten the legs. You can make that little banana shape. Excuse me, I said circles, but we're doing straight sweeps first. So go ahead and lift that top leg. We want hip width distance. Flex the foot. Come forward, point the foot, go back. Hips are stacked. They're not moving. Good, I could put my hand on my hip for a little balance, reach up towards the ceiling to challenge that. I just want to make sure those shoulders stay open. Good, bring that leg forward and back. 2 more times. Last time. Good, and then keep the legs separated by hip width distance, little circles. Circles in both directions. Good, I'll go ahead and switch. Circles in the opposite direction. I'm really controlling my leg. Notice I'm not swinging my hip, just barely moving my leg, small little circles. Perfect. Going straight into my lateral lifts, keeping my foot flexed, just going up and down. Or if I want a little bit more range of motion, keeping my hips stacked, point my toe to come up, flex my foot to go down. Don't want to over rotate. If I over rotated, I'd fall back, right? I don't want that. Good, we're here for 3, 2, last one. Leg comes up, leg goes down. Perfect. All right, let's take it to a little thigh stretch. Top leg, you'll bend your knee, bring the ankle or heel as close to your glute as possible. Nice little stretch. Big inhale, big exhale. Good, go ahead and sweep around to the other side. Make sure you get that quad stretch on the opposite side. Bending the knee. Nice gentle stretch. Good, last few seconds. Since we did hit our glutes last, let's go ahead and finish off with a figure 4 stretch. Lie on your back. You'll bring your left ankle across your knee. You can stay here. I'll press my left hand into that left thigh, getting a little bit more opening. Maybe, just maybe, I bring the right leg close to my chest. Maybe I interlace my fingers around my hamstring. Maybe I press my elbow into that left knee. And maybe I even straighten my right leg, flexing my right foot. A few more breaths here, in and out. And then I'll switch sides, getting that figure 4, that nice juicy glute release on my other side. And as soon as I feel like I had a good enough stretch, I'm done. Thank you so much for joining me today in this Pilates flow. I hope you feel longer, stronger, and I'm glad you got it done. Good work.